Hello children, how are you all? Welcome to online edu classes. Today we are going to learn chapter number 2, fractions and decimals, part 11. Children, in this class we'll be learning the division of decimals. Now we are going to learn the diagrammatic representation of division of decimals. See in the first picture, 84 parts out of 100 equal parts are shaded. So I can write this as 84 by 100. Now if I'm going to divide this by 2, we will get 42. This is represented in the second picture. That means 42 parts are out of 100 equal parts are shaded. But children, 84 by 100 and 42 by 100 are decimal fractions. So I can represent 84 by 100 as 0.84 and 42 by 100 as 0.42. So 0.84 divided by 2 is equal to 0.42. Is it clear, children? Children, now we are going to learn the division of decimal numbers by 10, 100 or 1000. So division of decimal numbers by 10, 100 or 1000 can be performed by moving the decimal point to the left by as many places as the number of zeros in the divisor. For example, let us divide 752.3 by 10. Children, in 10 there is only one zero. That means the decimal point will shift towards the left by one place. So the quotient will be 75.23. 75.23. Let us take the second example. The same number, if you are going to divide, that is 752.3 divided by 100. Since 100 has two zeros, the decimal point will shift two places to the left. The decimal point will shift two places to the left. So the quotient will be given by 7.523. Now the same number, if it is divided by 1000, and in 1000 there are three zeros. So the decimal point will move or shift three places to the left. The decimal point will move three places to the left. So the quotient will be given by 0.7523. Now children, we will learn how to divide a decimal number by a whole number. The first step is perform the division in the same way as in the whole numbers. The second step is place the decimal point of the quotient directly above the decimal point of the dividend. Now let us take an example. 51.6 divided by 12, and then we will do the division just like whole numbers. So 51.6 is the dividend, 12 is the divisor. So first 12 will go in 51 4 times. So 12 fours are is equal to 48. 51 minus 48 is equal to 3. Children, 4 will be the quotient when we divide 51 by 12. But children, after 51 there is a decimal point. So we have to put the decimal point in the quotient, that is after 4. Is it clear, children? Exactly above the decimal point in the dividend. And then we have to divide the other numbers. Now, what is the digit after 51 point? It is 6. So, we will bring the 6 down. So, it will be 36. Now, 12 will go in 36. How many times, children? So, 3 times. So 12 threes are is equal to 36, and 36 minus 6, 36 is equal to 0. So the quotient is given by 4.3. The quotient of 51.6 divided by 12 is equal to 4.3. Is it clear, children? Children, let us divide another decimal number by a whole number. For example, 100.4 divided by 25. So 100.4 is a decimal number, 25 is the whole number. So let us do the division. Here 100.4 is the dividend, 25 is the divisor. Now let us divide. So 25 will go in 100 4 times. 25 will go in 100 4 times. So 25 fours are is equal to 100. So 100 minus 100 is equal to 0. So you have to put the quotient 4. But children, after 100 there is a decimal point. You have to be very careful. There is a decimal point. So you have to put the decimal point in the quotient exactly above the decimal point in the dividend. Understood, children? That means after 4 we have to put a decimal point. But in the dividend after 100 point we have the digit 4. So we'll bring the 4 down. Now children, is it possible to divide 4 by 25? No. So it is not divisible. So we will put 0. We have to put 0 in the quotient. That is, after the decimal point, we will put 0 in the quotient. And then we will add zeros in the dividend. We know, children, that is after the decimal point, we can add as many zeros as we want. So we will bring this 0 down. Now this number will become 40. So 25 will go in 40 ones. 25 will go in 40 ones. So 25 ones are is equal to 25. Now 40 minus 25 is equal to 15. 40 minus 25 is equal to 15. Now again put another 0 and bring this 0 down. Bring this 0 down so it becomes 150. So 25 will go in 150 6 times. 25 will go in 150 6 times. So 150 minus 150. Why? Because 25 6 are is equal to 150. That is equal to 0. So now the division is complete. Now the quotient is given by 4.016. The quotient is given by 4.016. That is 100.4 divided by 25 is equal to 4.016. There is one note, children. When the number of digits in the dividend is less and the division is not complete, keep adding zeros at every step till the division is complete. So here, children, when the division was not completed, that is after 4, so we have added zeros. So and we added zeros until the division was completed. Is it clear, children? Children, let us take another example. 0.007 divided by 14. Here 0.007 is the decimal number and 14 is the whole number, and we'll start dividing. So here 0.007 is the dividend and 14 is the divisor. Now children, what is the first digit in the dividend? It is 0. So can we divide 0 by 14? No. So we will put 0 in the quotient. Now children, after this 0, there is a decimal point in the dividend. There is a decimal point in the dividend. So we will exactly put the decimal point in the quotient, that is just above the decimal point in the dividend. Understood, children? Now, what is the second digit? It is also 0. So we cannot divide this 0 by 14. So we will put another 0 in the quotient, that is after the decimal point. Now, what is the third digit here? Again, third digit is 0. So we cannot divide 0 by 14. So we are going to put 0 in the quotient. Now children, what is the fourth digit in the dividend? It is 7. But can we divide 7 by 14? No. So again we are going to put a 0 in the quotient. Now children, is the division complete? No. So what will we do here? We will add 1 0 in the dividend. We will add 1 0 in the dividend because after the decimal point, we can add as many zeros as we want. Now, can we divide 70 by 14? Yes. So, how many times 14 will go in 70? It will go 5 times. So, 14 fives are is equal to 70. So, write 5 in the quotient. And then 70 minus 70 is equal to 0. So, what is the quotient here? 0.005. Now, children, we know the quotient of 0.007 divided by 14 is equal to 0.0005. Now, how many decimal places are there in the quotient, children? There are 4 decimal places. Here, dividend has 4 decimal places. Therefore, quotient also has 4 decimal places. Here, children, after this 7, we have added one 0. So, there are 4 decimal places. So, that means in the quotient also there will be 4 decimal places. Children, now we will learn how to divide when the divisor is a decimal number. That is division by a decimal number. First we will learn the steps. So what is the first step? If the divisor has a decimal point, we have to move it as many places to the right as necessary to make it a whole number. That means if the divisor is a decimal number, that means it has a decimal point. So we have to move the decimal point to as many places to the right as necessary to make it a whole number. And what is the second step? Move the decimal point in the dividend the same amount of times to the right as you did the divisor. The number of places you have moved to make the divisor as a whole number. So we have to move the decimal point in the dividend also the same amount of times to the right as you did the divisor. After doing this, the third step is you have to divide. And the fourth step is place the decimal point in the same spot as the decimal in the dividend. What you have to do? The fourth point, place the decimal point in the same spot as the decimal point in the dividend. Is it clear, children? Children, now let us divide the whole number by a decimal number. For that, let us take an example that let us divide 5 divided by 0.25. Here 5 is the whole number and 0.25 is the decimal number. Children, we can divide these numbers in two ways. Let us see the first method. So, what is the first step here? We have to shift the decimal point in the divisor 2 places to the right to make it a whole number. That means here 0.25 is the divisor. So, since there are 2 decimal places, we will shift this decimal point 2 places to the right so that this 0.25 will become a whole number. And what is the second point here? We have to move the same number of places in the dividend also. That means here 5 is the dividend. Here 5 is the dividend. So we have to shift the decimal point here 2 places to the right. Now let us see how to do it. Children, here 0.25 is the divisor. 0.25 is the divisor. So, how many decimal places are there in this divisor? There are 2 decimal places. So, we will shift this decimal point 2 places to the right. Understood, children? So, we have moved so that now it has become a whole number. So, this 25 has become a whole number. Can you see here? So this 0.25 has become a whole number 25. Since we have moved 2 places, that is the decimal point 2 places to the right, we have to move the decimal point in the dividend also 2 places to the right. So children, here after 5, 5 is a whole number. So where is the decimal point? It is after 5. That is to the right of 5, there is a decimal point. Now we have to shift this decimal point 2 places to the right. Understood, children? Yes. Now, since there are no digits in after 5, so we will put two zeros here. We will put two zeros here so that this 5 will become 500. This 5 will become 500. That means the dividend 5 will become 500. Can you see here? It has become 500 here. The 5 has become 500 here. Now let us divide 500 by 25. It is 20. Let us see the division here. Here 500 is the dividend and 25 is the divisor. So 25 will go in 52 times. So 2 into 25 is equal to 50. 50 minus 50 is equal to 0. Again, there is another one more 0 in the dividend. So bring that 0 down. But children, can we divide 0 by 25? No. So we will put 0 in the quotient. So 500 divided by 25 is equal to 20. So the quotient of 5 divided by 0.25 is 20. Is it clear, children? Children, let us see the second method for this division. For that, we will divide the same numbers, that is 5 divided by 0.25. And now let us see the second method. Children, now we can write this 5 divided by 0.25 as a fraction, that is 5 by 0.25. Here 5 is the numerator and 0.25 is the denominator. Now children, in the denominator 0.25, there are two decimal places, and to remove these this decimal point, we have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 100 by 100. Understood, children? Now 5 into 100 is equal to 500 and 0.25 into 100 is equal to 25. Why? Because in 100 there are two zeros here. So when we multiply 0.25 by 100, the decimal point will move two places to the right. The decimal point will move two places to the right. So the product will be 25. Now we got a fraction where the numerator is 500 and the denominator is 25. And if we divide 500 by 25, we will get 20 as the quotient. We multiplied by 100 since there are two decimal places. Now let us see the division. Here 500 is the dividend and 25 is the divisor. So 25 will go in 50. How many times? 2 times. So 25 twos are is 50. So 50 minus 50 is equal to 0. Now there is another 0 there in the dividend. So bring the 0 down. But children, can we divide 0 by 25? No. So 0 by 25 is equal to 0. So we'll put 0 in the quotient. Understood, children? So the quotient of 5 divided by 0.25 is 20. Is it clear, children? Children, now we will learn how to divide a decimal by a decimal. For example, let us divide 5.2 divided by 1.3. Here both the numbers are decimal numbers and both are like decimals and each has only one decimal place. Now let us see how to divide. So I can write this 5.2 divided by 1.3 by in a fraction like 5.2 by 1.3, and since it has one decimal place in the divisor, so I have to make the divisor a whole number. So how can I make it? So I'll multiply both the numerator and denominator by 10 by 10. So it will become 52 by 13, and we know 52 divided by 13 is equal to 4. You can see the division here also, that is 52 divided by 13 is equal to 4. So this is how we will convert the divisor into a whole number so that we will be able to divide the dividend and find the quotient. Is it clear, children? Children, let us take another example. Divide 3.41 divided by 0.70. Then let us see how to do this problem. Now I will arrange this 3.41 divided by 0.70 as a fraction. So 3.41 by 0.70. Now you see in the divisor, children, there are two decimal places. So I want to make this divisor into a whole number. So I will multiply this, both the numerator and denominator, by 100 by 100. Understood, children? Because if I'm going to multiply 70 by 100, the decimal point will move two places to the right. So it will become 70. Now, if I multiply 3.41 by 100, again the decimal point will shift to two places to the right. So 3.41 will become 341. So now I can divide 341 by 70. Both are whole numbers. Let us see the division, how to do it. Now in the dividend I got 341 divided by 70. Now 341, 70 will go in 341 4 times. So write 4 on the top as a quotient here and multiply. 74 is equal to 280. Subtract, we will get 61. So the division is incomplete. Now children, I can add as many zeros after the decimal point because there was no digit after 1. So I am going to put a decimal point in the quotient, that is after 4. Understood, children? And bring this 0 down. So it will become 610. Now 70 will go in 610 8 times. Understood? So write that 8 after the decimal point. Now 8 into 70 is equal to 560. And when we subtract 560 from 610, it will be 50. Understood, children? But even then, now the division is incomplete. So I'll write or add one more 0 here and bring the 0 down. That is, add 1 0 in the dividend and bring the 0 down. So it becomes 500. Now again, let us divide 500 by 70. So how many times will it go? It will go 7 times. Write 7 on the quotient. So 70 into 7 is equal to 490. Now subtract 495 from 500. We get 10. Understood, children? And even now the division is incomplete, but children, it is enough if we divide till two decimal places. It is enough if we divide till 2 or 3 decimal places. So just put the remainder just like that. So the quotient is given by 3.41 divided by 0.70 is equal to 4.87. Is it clear, children? This is how we do the division. Thank you, children. Have a nice time.